PNP leadership transition intensifies. Front-runner scheduled to be nominated this Wednesday. Hello and thanks for joining us for Primetime News and a special welcome to our viewers on OneSpotMedia.com. I'm Janella Precious.
I'm Doreen Samuels. Also this evening, more celebration in August Town about zero murders for 2016.
Police question 3 people in connection with the death of a female Burger King employee.
Island-wide protests. Jamaicans condemn violence against women.
Hustlers create havoc for legitimate funeral directors.
And in the business day, major play and local BPO industry sheds hundreds of jobs.
There's also the ray of hope, sports commentary and weather in the Primetime News package. But before the break, the feedback question.
What do you make of Portia Simpson-Miller's plan to step down as PNP leader at the end of March?
You can share comments online, facebook.com/television Jamaica and tweet us at Television Jam.
Stay with us. Primetime News returns after this break.
News feedback is brought to you by
Prospective Motors will be driving.
Looking for your dream car? Well, look no further. Visit Prospective Motors, located at Howard Cook Boulevard, Montego Bay.
News headlines brought to you by
Just look again. The taste of quality.
The yogurt to know is good to grow. A happy face starts with great taste, nutritious for kids, and it tastes great.
Mellow Berry Bird, Vanilla Slide, Rockin' Punch, Razzle-Dazzle Berry.
A happy face for everyone. Come together and have some fun. Good to grow, the yogurt to know. The yogurt to know is good to grow.
Good to Grow yogurt from the makers of This Is Really Great Yogurt.
Hi, this is Shaggy. We need your support for Sigma Run 2017 to raise 60 million Jamaican dollars. You can support by registering to run, wheel, or walk at sagicorejamaica.com or give a donation. All funds collected will be donated to the Bethlehem Home for Abandoned and Disabled Children, the Mandeville Hospital, and Spanish Town Hospital Pediatric Units Vital Equipment. We really need your support. Please.
Sigma Run is sponsored by
Primetime News is brought to you by
Start saving for your child's education with as little as $500 with Sigma Educator.
Welcome back to Primetime News. A special welcome again if you're on OneSpotMedia.com.
Remind as well that you can watch TVJ live by downloading our One Spot Media app in the Google Play Store or the App Store. That's the number 1 followed by the word Spot and Media.
Dr. Peter Phillips, who is considered the front-runner for the People's National Party presidency, is to be nominated on Wednesday.
Nominations for the post opened this morning following yesterday's announcement that delegates will select a new president on March 26. TVJ's Vashon Brown has more.
This is the man many say will be the new president of the People's National Party come next month. It was revealed on Sunday by PNP officials that Portia Simpson-Miller will step down as opposition leader on April 2. Dr. Peter Phillips says he's ready to lead.
As I have said also, I intend during the nomination period to present my nomination papers to the party and to stand for election.
You expect to be challenged for the post?
I don't have an expectation, but I'm prepared for anything.
Central Manchester MP Peter Bunting was interested in being PNP president this time around, but he backed out late last year, indicating that after consultations, the majority of parliamentary and local government representatives felt it was Peter Phillips's turn. Mr. Bunting says the PNP should now focus on a smooth transition so that rebuilding can take place.
Well, I think the important thing that has been done today and announced by the officers is a time frame for nominations, a date for the special conference to select the leader, and a date for the transition of the leader of the post of leader of the opposition after that special conference.
Former PNP Vice President Dr. Carl Blythe is the man who challenged Mrs. Simpson Miller for her job at the party's last annual conference.
Are we expected to see another challenge from you going forward?
No, not at all. I'm here to support my party in whatever way they want, but not as leader. I wanted and I knew it was time for her to go. But when you say goodbye, you want to say it in an atmosphere that I feel with the comradeship, and I couldn't feel it.
Meanwhile, Dr. Phillips says one of the most important tasks is to preserve the unity in the party.
We spent a lot of time here discussing the strengthening of our organization, building on the group structures, political education activities to be undertaken, policy work to be undertaken, to continue to develop the policies and programs that will ensure that we have a country that works for all the people.
Nominations for the post of PNP president will close on Friday, February 10. Vashon Brown, TVJ News.
A corporate area resident is raising concern about the constant smoke coming from the Riverton City community and the possible long-term effect on people's health. The resident said he has been concerned for some time, but the matter keeps getting worse, prompting him to now speak out. TVJ's Kirk Wright has the details.
If it's not the dump that's on fire, there's always something else burning in the Riverton City community along Spanish Town Road. This footage of something on fire in the community was captured last week Wednesday. From a distance, it could be mistaken for the dump being on fire, but a closer inspection revealed the smoke was coming from tires burning near an abandoned building close to Spanish Town Road. The smoke rises in the day, blanketing the corporate area and Portmore. This is what it looks like early in the morning or at nights.
You can imagine you're going home late at night and you expect to come out and enjoy the nice, cool night air. And when you inhale, you're inhaling smoke, you're inhaling smog. Or you come out early in the mornings, and, you want to jog and enjoy the nice morning air. And you're inhaling smoke.
And it's been like this for months.
For the past at least 3 months, I've been noticing that anytime it comes to the evening time, that there's a haze or a smog that descends upon my community and the surrounding areas. Corville, Duane Park, Patrick City, and the Washington Boulevard area.
Vaughn Reese-Jones, a resident of the corporate area, doesn't have respiratory problems, but he says the constant haze over his community is a nuisance, and he fears the possible long-term effect to his health.
What is happening to my body on a consistent basis that I don't know about? That's very, very scary. Again, alluding to the incident that happened a couple years ago, we heard about benzene and all of these other harmful gases in the air. So I'm thinking to myself, am I inhaling all of these things on a consistent basis?
Residents of Portmore also suffer from the constant smoke from the Riverton community.
The scent, not really pretty. Sometimes when you smell it, it irritates your system, make you feel bad. And sometimes I wonder where it comes from, realize where Riverton is coming from.
Yesterday's Sunday Gleaner reported that a pulmonologist is advising people who suffer with respiratory problems to avoid living in Portmore if possible, because the air quality in that town is worse than in the corporate area. We put that suggestion to a Portmore resident from Waterford.
Where are you going if you leave the room? Buy one already. Don't take me, man. Where am I going?
We learned that the smoke is caused by the burning of tires to retrieve the metal inside for scrap metal trade. The fire department says the lighting of fires is a breach under the Town and Country Act. It says the matter is one of enforcement, which is largely a police matter. We were unable to get a comment from the St. Andrews South Police, in whose division the Riverton City community falls. Kirk Wright, TVJ News.
Funeral directors are this evening complaining about hustlers who are operating on the side and creating havoc in the business. In response, Health Minister Dr. Christopher Tufton says a policy is being drafted to regularize funeral homes. TVJ Shamela Mitchell reports.
The industry is still an unregulated industry.
Meaning persons are operating funeral homes without having all the requirements to offer the service.
They would probably rent a place for an office, and they would probably have a showroom there. They wouldn't have any mortuary.
Dwayne Brathwaite is a funeral director for Shining Star Funeral Home. He doesn't have his own morgue, but does most of the work through his father's funeral home.
I'm the uptown now, but through the uptown now, I'm only getting customer. So through that now, you know, by getting customer up there, you know, so now what we do now, we just coming back down in town, the months my father, store with him, but still register my thing as Shining Star.
Leroy Brathwaite is the Chief Executive Officer at Brathwaite's Funeral Home. Brathwaite Sr. says he does not have a problem doing business with his son.
My son here, in doing film little business, I appreciate it.
You share a storage with him?
Yeah, I tell him he's welcome. He's stored body here.
However, he says he has an issue with others doing something similar to what his son is doing, operating without owning a morgue.
Them hustling the body, store it, and then on the take of what them doing, them want to make them know, so them down the fridge, and them fridge and the porta body good. And them don't have fridge, them don't have place. And then them destroying we as the undertaker.
But Chief Executive Officer at Tranquility Funeral Home, Joseph Cornwall, says,
We have seen cases where the wrong body turns up at a church for service.
Health Minister Dr. Christopher Tufton, in response, says he's concerned that some funeral home operators do not have all the requirements to offer proper service. Dr. Tufton said discussions were held with funeral directors and the policies being drafted to advance for legislation.
I've asked also for the completion of a process that had started to put in place a policy to regulate and to establish critical standards for persons, entrepreneurs or otherwise who are interested in going into that line of work. I am hoping that during the next financial year, meaning post-April, not too far in that period, after April, we will have a position.
Shamela Mitchell, TVJ News.
Meanwhile, Health Minister Dr. Christopher Tufton has responded to the issue of dwindling cemetery spaces across the country. He says there is no need to panic over the situation at this time.
Most of these cemeteries are operated and owned by private entities, and they operate them for profit. The church is a big player, of course. Meadowrest and Dovecot are all linked to establish church organizations in the country. When those properties expire, then it's a matter of finding additional properties. Again, it goes through a process. The government would have to examine, the agencies like NEPA would have to approve, and we will work it that way.
He also said the Burial Within Town's Limits Act is outdated and needs to be reviewed.
Our top story this evening, PNP leadership transition intensifies. Front runners scheduled to be nominated this Wednesday. Still ahead, police question 3 people in connection with the death of a female Burger King employee. And in the business day, major player in local BPO industry sheds hundreds of jobs.
Love and singing from seafood too.
Marinated for 12 hours, Popeye's chicken brings you that slow-cooked, authentic Louisiana Cajun flavor. And with shrimp and seafood, you get many options to savor. Signature sides like coleslaw, mashed potato, and our special red beans and rice. Something for you is always on the menu. Now at 32A Constant Spring Road, Crossroads Shopping Complex, Sovereign Village, Portmore, and Manor Center. Life happens quickly, and JMMB helps to ensure that I'm always ready for it. By setting up my investment plan with JMMB Her Wealth, I'll be able to further my education, giving me a competitive edge to seek rewarding career opportunities. And I've also been thinking more about starting another investment plan for my retirement right now. I'm confident the next chapter of my life is going to be great, because JMMB Her Wealth is my wealth. JMMB understands. That's why we created JMMB Her Wealth, to make women financially stronger with a complete package of financial solutions for your life goals. Text WOMAN to 822-JMMB for more information.
It's easy as JMMB.
Your best interest at heart. Start saving for your child's education with as little as $500 with Sigma Educator.
The time by Sagicor Investments is 7:16.
When you think of the best deals on gold and silver jewelry, only one name comes to mind. American Jewelry Company. For the best in name brand watches, stunning necklaces, bracelets, rings, and so much more. Visit our store at number 11 Mall Plaza, Halfway Tree. We also have the latest fragrances for that lasting impression you desire. And best of all, credit is available for up to 36 months to pay. So call today, 926-6062 or 929-5065.
Welcome back. Continuing the news. Protests were held across the island to condemn violence against women. We go first to Montego Bay, where the protesters call for the scourge, which seems to be getting out of hand, to stop. TVJ's Giovanni Dennis reports.
Decked in black, hand in hand, men, women and children, illustrating unity against violence against women and children. With pride and dignity, they marched through downtown Montego Bay, offering support to grieving families, giving courage to the fearful, and reminding criminals, women matter. Vice President from the St. James Central Women's Movement, Natasha Wilson, says ending violence against women and children starts in the home and the community.
A lot of times these crimes start from within the home, the molestation of the children within the home, the beating of the women within the homes, and in the community on a whole, we know what is happening, and I'm saying that we have to just take an outward stand. We need to report these crimes.
I am the mother, right? And me and Tom Jones in a business. Tom Jones and me people in a business. So how can I send my child to collect money from Tom Jones? You know me and Tom Jones? So what do you think they're going to happen now? Tom Jones don't want it back for now. It just sounds simple, you know.
So your bottom line is that parents must be active.
Parents must play their role to their children, especially their girl child in their house.
Senator Charles Sinclair, who was a part of the march, is urging citizens to not only protest against violence, but to tell the police what they know. He hopes the government sees the protest as a reason to expedite its crime plan.
We have heard bits and pieces of it coming from the Minister of National Security in respect to reducing the amount of guns that come into Jamaica, because guns are not made in Jamaica. And where it is that this present administration came and found many of the logistical circumstances that reduce the capacity of the law enforcement, they are seeking to improve on that.
The call to wear black to protest violence against women and children was recognized island-wide. Giovanni Dennis, TVJ News.
And a group of people at the Morant Bay roundabout in St. Thomas also condemned the violence against women. They were also clad in black, and they showcased placards urging abusers to stop the practice.
I'm trying my best to make it stop completely.
We're making a start, we're taking a stand, we're making you know that we are aware. And for every woman that have hurt you, men, guys that are hurting our young girls and our ladies, we the woman in St. Thomas, we apologize from our womb. We apologize for all the hurt that you have been through.
One woman is dead and 2 other persons remain in hospital this evening following a shooting in Westmoreland last night. The dead woman has been identified as 31-year-old Tracy Humes of Measure Meadows in Westmoreland. It's reported at minutes after 10 last night, a group of persons were having a drink when 2 armed men approached them and started shooting. The 3 who were shot were rushed to hospital where Ms. Humes was pronounced dead. Her family is still trying to come to terms with what happened.
I'm not sure what happened, but we just get a call last night and hear that my mother drop out and I have to come down here come see what happened.
Wouldn't know that the other killed my sister. She not go people place. She work home just from work to home. And I can't believe saying sit down and enjoy and then come and kill my sister like that. A brutal act.
3 persons are being questioned in connection with the murder of a 23-year-old Burger King employee who went missing last Thursday. We have the details in this report. Is it or isn't it? Is the question the relatives of 23-year-old Nile Brown had been asking all day Monday after news surfaced that her body was discovered in a barrel in St. Thomas on Sunday. Police reports confirmed it was the body of the missing woman. However, family members spent most of Monday at the Denhamton police station waiting for the go-ahead to go to the morgue to identify the body found. Too distraught to give an on-camera interview, the family expressed disappointment that confirmation was given before they were given an opportunity to identify the body. At the Denhamton police station, the car of one of the persons of interest. He's a taxi operator of a St. Thomas address. He's the boyfriend of the woman who Nile Brown rented a room at her 3-bedroom apartment in Denhamton. Days after Brown went missing, this voice note had been making the rounds on social media.
She have a barrel in her room. The contents of the barrel were all thrown out. The sheet of her bed missing. Her pillars them missing and the barrel missing and everything out of the barrel upon the floor.
From the Denhamton police station, TVJ News then journeyed to Golden Heights, also in Denhamton, the location of the 3-bedroom apartment. A large crowd converged outside the building as investigators carried out a search. Inside, the landlord and her boyfriend. We learned that Nile Brown, who is an employee of Burger King, had been living in the area from November last year. Her co-workers raised an alarm after she did not turn up for work on Friday. When asked, the residents say at no point did they hear any sounds of distress coming from the apartment. We were also told that persons saw the man rolling the barrel from the apartment, but it was assumed that he was moving out. After spending an entire day in the apartment building, it was time for investigators to head back to base. They first huddled to strategize how to get the suspects out of the building given the size of the crowd. The crowd was urged to step back, and then this happened. This was after 6 p.m. Monday. The family who were at the scene still hadn't been given the green light to go and identify the body. Meanwhile, it's understood that Nile Brown's ex-boyfriend is also being questioned by the police in relation to her disappearance.
As the community of Augustown in St. Andrew continues to celebrate its zero murder success for 2016, Prime Minister Andrew Holness visited the community where ideas for taking the strategy elsewhere is being explored. The community had a peace march on Sunday. Here's TVJ's Herman Green with the details.
With growing demand for the government to present its crime plan to deal with runaway murders, Prime Minister Andrew Holness was in Augustown hearing firsthand how that community achieved zero murders in 2016. The community had a peace march on Sunday. But how significant is a march considering the vicious killings happening across the country?
When you walk through the streets with the power of the people behind you, it sends a clear signal that the community stands for peace. The community is mobilized for peace.
Looking back at 2016, Councillor for the Papine Division, Venetia Phillips, says the achievement of zero murders was due to a deliberate partnership involving all groups, especially the residents.
we can't plan for people, we have to plan with them. And so I believe that it is time for us as political leaders to understand that while an overall strategy is necessary, the planning and implementation must be done with the people.
It's up to all of us to ensure that we play our part, to report what we know, the wrongdoing that we know, to report that to the police, when we see suspicious activity, to take responsibility, to say this is our community and we're not going to stand for it.
Mr. Holness agrees that collaboration is critical. He says in spite of the crime figures, working together is more likely to yield success as there are more good law-abiding citizens than criminals.
And the power of the good is properly mobilized, organized, can overcome whatever challenges we face. And this is one example of how the good people of Jamaica can organize and mobilize and overcome.
Residents say the police showing more respect, short-term job opportunities, and assistance from church and youth groups played key roles in changing the mindset of the people and helped them to resolve conflict. Herman Green, TVJ News.
The 15-year-old boy who allegedly was held with a homemade gun in St. Thomas 2 weeks ago was offered $350,000 bail when he appeared before the St. Thomas Children's Court today. He is to return to court on March 23. The teenager was charged last Thursday. The St. Thomas police were carrying out an early morning operation on January 25 when a bus was stopped along the Prospect Main Road and the passengers searched. The firearm was reportedly found in the schoolboy bag.
Residents of several communities in Clarendon, which have been without piped water for years, have literally gone in search of the commodity. A correspondent accompanied the Maypen mayor as he and residents tried to find a natural water source that would help offset the impact of a drought which has started to affect the parish. Krista Campbell has that story.
For residents of several Clarendon communities, it seems there has been mostly wood than water. And with a yearly drought now starting to impact some areas in Clarendon, some residents went on a mission with the new Maypen Mayor Winston Maraj in search of the precious commodity. Mayor Maraj says finding additional water sources will help bring piped water to many areas where it is costing the government and residents a lot to get trucked water. So off he went, touring several locations to find water. The first site did not yield much.
We went into another area, which is a bridge at Martini, it's called, that community, and we identified a source there that could serve about 400 or 500 people.
Another tour would yield better results that should benefit even more communities.
We went into Coffee Peace, which is in northwest Clarendon, and we also identified two sources, which these were very good sources from what we have been looking at. These two sources could serve the communities of Coffee Peace and surrounding areas, as well as the community of Nine Turn and the community of Lesterfield. So in a total, we would have like 4,000 to 5,000 people being serviced by this new water source that we have identified.
The mayor says he's taken the next step by contacting the water authorities.
I've asked the engineers from the Rural Water Supply Limited as well as the Water Resources Authority to put something in place, put a project in place, and then we'll be seeking funding so we can build on these sources so that we can get the water to the people in these communities.
Krista Campbell, TVJ News.
For the last 3 years, the main challenge facing the Lawrence Tavern police has been domestic-related incidents. But the police say they want to change that, and so they came up with a plan to put on an empowerment session aimed at connecting more with youths. In this week's edition of A Ray of Hope, Kirk Wright tells us how that session, the first and many more to come, fared.
A Ray of Hope is brought to you by Courts. Get courts protection in the event of redundancy, accident, flood, or theft.
The police and the Social Development Commission, SDC, joined hands recently to connect better with youths. Simroy Mott is the sergeant in charge at the Lawrence Tavern Police Station.
When you look around, you see as police officers, we are agents of change. And we realize that if we really want to impact Jamaica positively, our targets should be the youths.
With that, the organizations, including the Community Development Committee, staged an empowerment session last week.
It was a great idea because you would see police and the youth interacting together. That's like a major achievement for the youth now, because the youths over here have feared the police, and if you see the police now doing something for the youth, it's very good.
The empowerment speakers included a policeman, a pastor, teacher and entertainers.
These entertainers have a lot of influence on the youths. So getting them to come and talk to youths is something that I think should be encouraged. Talk to them about their own personal development and instilling them some level of positivity. So it was deliberate.
The speakers say they never hesitated to offer their time.
Heartfelt, heartwarming, the youth of the community come out and come support the seminar, and it's a wonderful initiative. Hats off to the whole SDC and CEC, Lawrence Taban Police Station.
I think it was a good idea because I like to motivate youths to where I come from, because I don't know the thing. More time the youths them can't find them way, more time them don't know if they make the next step, more time. So anything when we can put in on the thing, any little speech, any little thing when we can do for motivate even 5 youth a day. I feel good, so my mission have a touch in most life we can.
The message seems to have connected with the youths.
What he has said really showed where a youth just going out there and trying, and to see he's become a big star right now. It's a major success.
Do you think any of what they say will change your life in a better way, and if yes, how?
Yeah man, it just tell myself to elevate more, because them really bring out something in the moment I know me having on my way. It never really a show, so yeah man.
What's that? What's that you have in you that you think?
Courage.
The police say they will be hosting more empowerment sessions with the hope of influencing as many lives as possible. Kirk Wright, TVJ News.
A ray of hope is brought to you by Courts. Get courts protection in the event of redundancy, accident, flood or theft.
And that's a local segment of Primetime News. But before the break, some responses to our feedback question. Janella?
Thank you very much, Doreen. Here's our question for tonight. We've been asking, what do you make of Portia Simpson Miller's plan to step down as PNP leader at the end of March? Delicia Thomas says, I think that her stepping down is not altogether a bad thing. She ran her race and it's time to hand over the baton to someone else. She was a great leader, regardless of what people say. She's an inspiration to many young people. So walk good, Sister P. Anya Rochester says, maybe we ought to consider putting term limits on our ministers. The tried method doesn't always prove to be true. Hopefully she will enjoy her retirement. Shanice Davidson, she has done her part in contributing to the country. However, it's time for a new leader on that side. A younger leader will do just fine as long as he or she serves the country well. Happy retirement. And our final comment is from Maureen McLeod, who says, only salvation lasts forever. She contributed well, but it's time to pass the baton. She'll shed a few years as PJ Patterson did. He looks so fresh. Keep those comments coming, folks, to facebook.com/Television Jamaica and tweet us at Television Jam. The Business Day is next.
Primetime News is brought to you by...
Start saving for your child's education with as little as $500 with Sigma Educator.
Advance your career. Apply for on-the-job training at the Heart Trust NTA. Call or visit a Heart Trust office island-wide. The time by the Heart Trust NTA is
7:34.
Welcome to the...
No, none is up with a 5-piece Christmas.
Alright, can I have 3 5-piece Christmas, please?
Yeah. What's one of them Christmas?
That smells good.
KFC Christmas.
Why are the boxes empty? Where's mine?
Tender, juicy, crispy, 100% real chicken. Bones not included.
I mean 2 10-piece
KFC is finger licking good.
Your business is your world. Technology can make your business more profitable.
At C&W Business, we understand your challenges, and we provide solutions and support, all scalable, to support business at every level. Data center hosting, security and data protection, sales and business solutions, e-commerce transaction support. Just imagine what we could do for your efficiency and profitability. C&W Business. We are IT.
Unplanned major expenses can leave you wondering how you will cope. Let NCB help you to manage these emergency expenses with our new NCB credit card installment plans. You can pay for these expenses in 3 months at 0% interest or up to 12 months at low interest rates. For more information, visit jncb.com/0 or call our customer care center at 1-888-NCB-FIRST. At NCB, we're here to help you put your best life forward.
Your shortcut to happiness begins at Distinction College. In less than 3 months, get local in City and Guilds international certification and to qualify to work worldwide in motor vehicle engineering, plumbing, electrical installation, welding, painting and decoration, air condition and refrigeration. No subjects required, no age limit, no entrance test. Experienced persons are welcome to be certified. Classes held on day, evening and Saturdays at very affordable school fees with easy payment plans. Classes begin very soon. Visit us in Kingston, Spanish Town, and Ocho Rios or call 356-4167 or 795-2742. Distinction College, providing opportunities for you.
Business Day is brought to you by NCB Credit Card Installment Plans. For more information, visit jncb.com/0 or call our customer care center at 1-888-NCB-FIRST.
A very good evening to you and welcome to the Business Day. I'm Dwayne Burbick. A major player in the local business process outsourcing BPO industry has shed hundreds of jobs. The Business Day has been informed that Xerox Jamaica is set to lose a major account at the end of next month, and in response has sent home just over 300 workers from its Portmore location. Only 95 employees will remain to man services. Xerox also has locations in New Kingston and Newport West, as well as Montego Bay, St. James. When the Business Day contacted Xerox's main office, we were told that the country director was out of office today and will be back tomorrow. President of Jampro, Diane Edwards, said she was not aware of the situation and would make inquiries. Meanwhile, the news of job cuts coming in the BPO sector came at the same time a new study was launched to study how Jamaica can spur the development of the sector. Jampro said it partnered with the Inter-American Development Bank and Tollons Incorporated to conduct the study. The study explores the key challenges facing the development of the industry and provides recommendations to improve the sector's contribution to the Jamaican economy. The BPO sector employs about 22,000 Jamaicans. Currency trading ended today with the US dollar selling for an even $128. The Canadian dollar is selling for $98.35. The pound sterling costs $158.54, while the euro costs $136.49. A cocoa expert is warning stakeholders about possible threats to the industry while urging them to take preventative action. The researcher based at the University of the West Indies was speaking at a cocoa symposium on Monday. Dashan Hendricks tells us more.
For years, Jamaica has been basking in its ability to produce a fine flavored cocoa, much to the satisfaction of those who make chocolate and other products from the plant. But cocoa production has fallen significantly over the years, and with the frosty pod rot disease being a threat to the plant, Agriculture Minister Carl Samuel says new strains of cocoa will be introduced.
Where you graft them onto existing trees, and then from that you get a plant that can be transplanted and developed in that way.
The Rural Agriculture Development Authority, RADA, will continue to provide seedlings and technical support to farmers, even as those efforts continue. One expert has pointed to other challenges.
The European Union regulations on contamination of cocoa by the heavy metal cadmium coming into effect in January 2017, our exports to the European Union countries can be jeopardized if you are not prepared.
Mr. Umaran is urging Jamaica and other Caribbean countries to take note of the regulations while producing high-quality cocoa.
The deteriorating quality due to inadequate emphasis on planting material or building a planting material pipeline to farmers, as well as poor quality management along the value chain, can threaten the fine flavor status that we enjoy.
He says that the region is able to sell its cocoa beans 3 times more expensive than the normal selling price because of the high quality of the product. For the Business Day, I am Dashan Hendricks.
Oil prices fell today as a stronger dollar and ample U.S. supplies outweighed OPEC output curbs and rising tensions between the United States and Iran. Oil for delivery in March ended today with its price down 82 cents or 1.5% to settle at $53.01. And back home, trading on the Jamaica Stock Exchange ended today with the main JSE Market Index up more than 2,365 points to close at 221,604 points, while the Junior Market Index gained more than 22 to close at 2,981. The winners of the day included 1834 Investments, Berger Paints, Carb Cement, Consolidated Bakeries, Grace Kennedy, Jamaica Producers, Akeli Group, Lasco Manufacturing, Panjam, and T-Tech. On the losing end were Jamaica Brawlers, Kingston Wharves, Lasco Financial, Proven Investments, Sagicor Group, and Supreme Ventures. And that's the Business Day. I'm Dwayne Burbick. Good evening.
Business Day is brought to you by
NCB Credit Card Installment Plans. For more information, visit jncb.com/0 or call our customer care center at 1-888-NCB-FIRST.
U.S. President Donald Trump is embarking on his 3rd full week in office, embroiled in a legal fight over his travel ban. The fate of that ban now lies in the hands of the 9th Circuit Court of Appeals in San Francisco, as it weighs whether to keep a suspension of Trump's controversial ban in place. More from the CNN.
We have to defend our nation.
President Trump visiting troops at U.S. Central Command. His first public meeting with military service members as Commander-in-Chief.
We will defeat radical Islamic terrorism, and we will not allow it to take root in our country. We're not going to allow it.
However, the president's trip was colored by the continuing contentious court challenge to his executive order that temporarily bans refugees and citizens of 7 predominantly Muslim countries from entering the U.S.
We need strong programs so that people that love us and want to love our country and will end up loving our country are allowed in, not people that want to destroy us.
Over the weekend, an appeals court opted to keep in place a temporary restraining order issued by a federal judge on Friday, temporarily halting the ban. The president took to Twitter to attack the judge who originally blocked his executive order, accusing U.S. District Court Judge James Robart of opening the country to potential terrorists. This after labeling the George W. Bush appointee a, quote, so-called judge. Remarks that had lawmakers on both sides of the aisle bristling.
I don't understand language like that. We don't have so-called judges. We don't have so-called senators. We don't have so-called president.
But Vice President Mike Pence defended the president's tirade against a member of the judiciary.
The President of the United States has every right to criticize the other 2 branches of government. We are very confident the President's operating within his authority as President.
And the Primetime News package continues with sports after the break.